want to talk a little bit about gossip in the rooms of recovery. Daily Reflections calls it a polite form of murder by character assassination, and it's quite true. I come in and I get some time and then I think I know something. And I start to hear about all these things like 13 step in or all these sponsored or not sponsored or good or bad. Like I start to pick apart those around me thinking all of a sudden I'm on some kind of higher ground or I'm better than. That's a normal human instinct, but it's important for me to take inventory of myself on a daily basis and catch it if I am gossiping about those around me, because I can do a lot of damage. I've experienced that damage myself. I mean, many years in sobriety, and maybe I made a decision to date somebody. Oh goodness, oh my goodness. Now, if you want some negative attention in recovery, have a few years sober and date somebody a few months sober. That is very frowned upon, as it should be, because there are people that will take advantage of others. But that doesn't mean it's automatically a bad situation and that the man is automatically guilty. Me personally, I am an empath, and when I feel a connection with somebody, even though in the two situations where I've done it, where they were 90 days or more, they came on to me, and I tried to say no the first few times. In one of those cases, she had 9 months or something, then relapsed while we were already dating, and I made a conscious decision to stay. Now that is my decision to make. That is my mistake to make also. And I dealt with a lot of shoulder bumping and drama and chaos because of those decisions. But luckily, I was secure in my own recovery. And neither of those decisions was I taking advantage of anybody. But you see, that can still be frowned upon by others. And I personally had some growth. And I needed to have those experiences to have the growth that I needed to have. And guess what? Lesson was learned, but that's my lesson to have, my decision to make. And instead, I had whole rooms of people mad at me, mugging me, and chastising me, which could have very well led to me feeling uncomfortable in recovery and seeing myself out and maybe end up drinking or using, right? Wouldn't have been their fault, but they sure as hell didn't help. I gotta remember, when I am in that situation, if I notice myself judging somebody or taking their inventory, especially if I'm gossiping about it from a place of anger instead of a place of love, then I'm going to become spiritually sick. And not only am I hurting those around me, I'm going to be hurting myself. Sooner or later, I'll end up needing relief from that spiritual malady. Funny thing is, all these old timers that'll clearly say that they're, oh yeah, I'm a dirtbag, blah, blah, blah. Definitely a predator, blah, blah. And then they're hanging out with all these new girls, like I take judgment of that all the time. But if I need to say anything, I need to talk to the individual directly from a place of love. Have a suggestion or a solution intact, right? Have a conversation. I wouldn't dare try to put them down at a group level or make fun of them or gossip about them to get all these other people to hate them too, because this is a place where people can live and survive from a terminal disease, right? That is not something to be played with. So it's important, if I'm taking judgment, to realize that I myself am not perfect. Who the hell am I? I'm not on some kind of higher ground than these people. And that if I need to be coming or judging from a place of love, otherwise I'm doing it out of anger. And anger is really fear turned inwardly. Therefore, there's something within me that I'm not noticing and I need to work on, because I am judging the other person, but I got 3 fingers pointing at me. So remember, gossip is critical. It is something that is very unhealthy and bad. And just because I have certain beliefs and judgments and a certain mentality about something doesn't mean that it's right. And it doesn't mean that I get to shun somebody or put somebody down for making decisions that they might need to grow from. Now, it is very plain and evident when somebody is being victimized, and that needs to be handled accordingly. But I've also seen many relationships in recovery. It's always the ones judging that have a husband that they met when they were new, and they're the loudest ones, right? So I've seen a lot of successful relationships come out of that. I'm not a recovery. I'm not a relationship specialist, a banker, financial aid. I'm not any of that. I'm just another drunk that knows how to help another drunk get sober. And I know how to clear enough of you out of the way to have a connection to this power that's going to keep you sober. The rest of that is my own humanistic personality character defects. And I am going to cause harm if I use it as some sort of sword against you or leverage against you. So it's just really critical to keep that stuff to myself and find a time and a place to have that conversation, because even people with some time go through that on a daily basis, and it's hard to. I've got a whole town that I live in. They judged me right out of the whole town, and it sucks because not one of them have the courage to come up and have a conversation with me to maybe perhaps see that their perspective isn't what it is at all, and maybe there's another way to look at it, or perhaps see that I might have tried saying no, or I did say no, or maybe I made a decision and I'm willing to talk about it. All that matters is I'm a human. I get to make my own choices. Nobody gets to make them for me. And the program of recovery, they might say don't date in the first year, but nobody's fucking tried that, right? Nobody knows if it works, right? So it's all just opinionated bullcrap. And it's not going to make or break whether or not somebody has an opportunity to live or survive in this program. But my gossip absolutely will unalive them or keep them out of the very thing that may save their lives.